What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and as you could tell, I'm doing pretty good on the ladder. In fourth by 4 points. Let's go. I finally busted the 5, and now I'm in fourth. And I'm gonna do a replay in this one versus Panda Burn. So let's see how the game went. One of my least favorite matchups. Alright, so I paper, he papers. And I just figured he's gonna throw a scissor because I papered so quick, so I just throw a rock and I get the rock, paper, scissors, which is nice. Now the way he played this game was really good, I'm not gonna lie. So I opened Tribe, Upstart, Decode, Jar, Chaos Sorcerer, and Faith. He's got Morphing Jar, Breaker, Gravity Bind, Geometrio, and Nightmare Wheel. And I Upstart into a Thunder Dragon, instantly discard it, don't know what this guy's playing at all. And I decide to set Deco and say go. He draws into Exiled Force. He runs the Breaker out and breaks the back row. I chain the Jar of Greed. Now I'm thinking, alright, this is looking like a pretty good start. He decides to set Geometrio and set Nightmare Wheel. And attack my monster, which is a Deco. I draw into Sangin. And then I draw Wing Blast for turn, and I drew Tribe for the Jar of Greed. So I decide just to set Sangin and set Wing Blast and say go. He draws Secret Barrel for turn. He instantly sets it and just swings right into the monster. And I go get my Serpent, and he sets his Exile Force and says go. Still have no idea what this guy's playing at all because he's only showed me a Breaker. So I decide to set my Deco and just say go. And this is a bad play right here. Probably should have just dropped the BLS right now on him. I really messed this up. But I don't think it really would have mattered. So now he draws into Sangin. He flips the Exiled, pops my Deco that I had down. He knows it's not Sinister. Didn't know he had Exile. So now I'm thinking he's on Warrior because he hasn't showed me anything at all. The way he's playing this game is really smart. So he sets Morphin Jar and sets Gravity Bind. I draw into Solemn Judgment. I get my Serpent back. I decide to set the Serpent and set the Solemn because I'm thinking he's on Warrior, so I have no idea what he's got going on. So he decides to attack. Main phase 2, set Singin, set Just Desserts, and he flips up Morphing Jar. And I decide to Solemn Mid because I'm gonna lose if he's playing some crazy. Now when he flipped Morphing Jar, I figured he's on some crazy Panda Burn shit. He has to be, or just some straight burn shit. So I have to Solemn here because if I don't, he's gonna draw 5 cards, and he's already got 5 back rows anyways. And I lose my BLS, I lose a Faith, I lose Chaos Sorcerer. So I decided to Solemn it, puts me at 3,200. And then the shit is revealed. He Geometrios me instantly here, puts 3 tokens. Now I'm like, damn, this guy just played the fuck out of me. And he Secret Barrels, and that is game 1. He played the shit out of me there. Did not know he was on it. So now I put in 2 Mystic Walks. And I think that's all I really have for this matchup, to be honest. So I throw out Thunder Dragon. Turn 1, I got Double Trap Dust Shoot, which is good. Mirror Force, Thunder Dragon, Yomi, and Pot of Greed. So with 2 Thunder Dragons now, I draw Faith and Chaos Sorcerer. So now I know what he's playing. I did board a Trap Dust Shoots in just to maybe draw the first turn like I did and maybe spike a Giant Rad or a Cyber Jar or something. Unfortunately, he opened all traps and spells. He has 2 trios, Secret Barrel, Just Desserts, Level Limit, and Giant Shrunade. So now I'm like upset I didn't get a monster, but on the same time, I'm like, in reality, he doesn't have enough shit to really go anywhere with this. So it is what it is. So he sets his Geometrios, his Jar, his Just Desserts, and his Secret Barrel, and says go. Now at this point, I really think I'm gonna lose because like this guy's got so much life points on me already. He decides to run it out right now and a Geometrio and get it on the board. And I draw 2 cards. I draw Ring and Torrential and drew Solemn for turn. So I decide just to run with the Tsukuyomi and swing. I have taken no damage yet. So it's like, what's he gonna do? I decide to set the Solemn and set the Ring, just in case. He draws into Nightmare Wheel, which is a clutch-ass draw for him. He level limits and sets the Nightmare Wheel. Instantly fires a Nightmare Wheel, so now I can't flip my Faith, which sucks. So I just set Torrential and say go. He draws into Snatch Steal, which is pretty dead. I mean, he's playing like a real, like, kind of aggro, burn type strategy here, but it is what it is. So he runs out the Giant Rat, and I decide to just Torrential right now and just get all the shit out of here. Yes, I am losing a shitload of damage, 2k plus the 900, but I have nothing else going anyway, so I fire the Upstart into a Mystic Walk. And now he's at 8,000 again, 7,900. I'm really low on life points. I decide to set the Tsukiyomi and set the Walk and say go. He draws into Breaker. He runs out the Breaker. I do have plays for this Breaker, but I decide not to do anything because it's like I'm really low on life points and I'm probably going to get fucked if I do anything. So fortunately, he hits the Trap Dust Shoot, which is dead. So Trap Dust Shoot did come in handy for something. I draw into a Faith, which is a great card. He Ojama Trios me, puts him on the board, okay, which is fine. And I set Faith and say go. So now I know he has Secret Barrel and Giant Trunade. He runs out the Sangan and decide just to pass and run it out. So I draw Graceful Charity, which is a pretty good draw for me. So I Graceful instantly. I draw Tribe, Deco, and Wing Blast. I discard the Duo and the Thunder Dragon. I go get Graceful again. I flip with the Faith. And I'm glad I set the Tsukiyomi because now I can do some sick type shit here maybe. And I flip up the Faith, put the Faith face down. And I decide to just ring, I think. Just ring one of these drama tokens just to get out the Chaos Sorcerer here and banish the Sangan. And I decide to set another Solemn and Jar of Greed. So I have double Solemn set here. He draws into Cyber Jar, which is a clutch ass draw for him. And I have really no way to answer it yet, but I upstart. I flip up the Faith, go get the Graceful, do it again, draw some more shit. Puts me really pretty low on cards here, but it is what it is. I discard Snatch, and I discarded a Faith there, I think. Oh, yeah, I did. That was a bad throwaway there. I probably should have kept that Faith, but it is what it is. So I run out the BLS and go for the monster face down just to get him out of here. And then I decide to... He thinks I'm going to Chaos Sorcerer the Breaker, but I'm not doing that play. I'm going to Chaos Sorcerer the token here and lose 300 so I can free my board up some. So I can run out the Tsukiyomi and set the Faith down. I'm really looking for heavy here. I haven't seen heavy yet. So he draws level limit area B. He can't really do much. He could Snatch Steal the BLS, but he decides not to. So I'm going to go for it right now. I say, fuck it, it's time. It's time to play. I instantly, here. And then he decides to Secret Barrel me here to put me really low on life here, 500. I flip up and I decide to get pot this time, which I don't know why. I probably should have got Graceful there, but it just something told me to get pot. So I get some damage on the board here. Boom. Hit him really hard. Now I hit him for 5,500. And I get rid of Sangan and I set a Wing Blast for the next turn and I say go. I'm sitting at 500 life points. That's it. He decides to Giant Trunade me here. I have to Solemn for it. Now I'm at 250. He tries to Snatch Steal. And this is when I chain Mystic Walk on him and gain 3,000 and make him waste the Snatch Steal. And he fires double level limit area B. I fire the Heavy Storm. And he knows what time it is. It's over. So that was game 2. Boom. Let's go. I think I played that pretty good. Waited on the Snatch Steal. Chained the Mystic Walk. I had Mystic Walks on deck as a broken ass card for burn. It's just when they think they're going for a game, you just chain the shit, instantly gain big damage. So I played it really good. The Chaos Sorcerer play was good. Dropping the BLS, everything was on time that game. So we're on to game 3. Game 3, he gets to go first. He's got Snatch, Cyber Jar, Cylinder, Ceasefire, and Giant Trunade. I have Knock, Thunder Dragon, Mystic Walk, Wing Blast, and Faith. Not the greatest hand, but I'm going to see if we can work with it. So he decides just to set Magic Cylinder and set Cyber Jar here. I instantly fire the Knock. He can't respond. There goes his Cyber Jar. That was a big card for him. He would have definitely won if he would have resolved that. So I decided to set Faith and set Wing Blast. He draws Pot of Greed off the top. Okay, I can't do anything, and I just let it go. Now he summons Breaker and decides to pop my back row and poke into my monster, and now it's not looking good because I literally have nothing going on here. And I get Nobleman with the the Fade, because all I have. I draw into Graceful, which is a great draw for me. I draw Upstart, and Pot of Greed. I discard an Upstart and a Thunder Dragon because I don't want to give him life points. I Pot of Greed. I fire the duo right away here to minus 1,000 because I might as well. Boom. I decide to Upstart. I draw into Solemn. I set Singing and pass. I don't want to heavy yet because he's going to set a card that I put back on top. So that's really good about Dust Shoot. You kill his draw and you know what he's going to have. So putting back rows back on end phase with Wing Blast is pretty damn good. So he decides to fire the Ceasefire here, so I take 1,000, which is fine. And then he's going to run into the Sangan, and I go get Tsukiyomi back, or from my deck. He decides to set just Desserts. I instantly fire the Heavy here. Wish he would have set the Cylinder too, but he didn't. He kept it in hand, which is a good play by him. And I just set Jar of Greed and set Solemn and say go. He draws into Torrential Tribute. See, he's playing some weird burn shit. He sets the Torrential and sets the whatchamacallit. I decide to set Faith and say go. He draws Ring of Destruction, and he decides not to set it, which is a good play on him. So I don't go get Heavy here, which I probably should have, but I decided just to go get Pot of Greed. And then I decide just to run out the Breaker here, and he Torrentials it right away, which is fine. That's not bad. And he draws into Level Limit Area B, which is a great draw for him. He fires the level limit and sets the ring. I set Deco and say go. He top decks Lily. I flip up the Deco, set it, put it back down, set Jar of Greed, say go. I'm looking for another Faith or MST or something. He's got the knock, so I Solemn the knock here. Just say fuck it, 3,000, because I'm going to take 3,000 anyways if he attacks me. So I might as well just Solemn in and keep my Deco. So I draw Mystic Walk for turn, Deco off the Deco, and Solemn off the Jar of Greed. Got a million cards here. I decide to run the Tribe out, and this is when I do some big brain play. I use Tribe's effect, and I just call I call whatever you want to call. Fiend I call, and there's no fiends on the board. I'm pretty sure you can do this. You could just use Tribe effect and call, and it says destroy all monsters on the field that are that attribute. So that's kind of one big brain play that I'm pretty sure is legal. So just to get rid of cards out of my hand, so now if he Secret Barrels me, it's not as much. He draws into another Level Limit Area B here and decides to fire it and say go. I draw Chaos Sorcerer. I go for the Tsukiyomi again. I'm looking for my MST or my last Faith. He draws into Secret Barrel, sets it. And there she is, the last Faith. I set the Faith right away. He draws just Desserts, decides to fire the whatchamacallit. I decide to chain Mystic Walk here and get rid of my Tribe and gain 1,600, but I'm going to take 2,000, so I lost only 400 off that Secret Barrel. I did lose my Tribe, but it is what it is. So now I decide to flip up the Magician of Faith. He says target. I say obviously Heavy Storm. I fire the Heavy. He chains just Desserts and then chains Ring on my Faith. I chain Mystic Walk to gain 1,400 and only lose 800, so made a little bit of life points there back. I drop all my monsters, both Chaos Sorcerers and the Deco, and start attacking because he has no cards at all, and he's top decking, and he's on a 1-turn clock now. He's at 3,000 life. He draws into a Secret Barrel, which is not going to do it because he's short, because all that you can tell I have is 7 cards, so I'm going to lose 1,400 damage, and I'm swinging for game, and that is how you do it. That's how you beat a burn, aggro, whatever the hell kind of deck this guy's running. But that's it for today, y'all. Have a good day or night. Peace out. Bye.